What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Battlefield 2042 is finally here, and my goal with today's video is to give you guys the absolute best controller settings, console settings. Now, I'm playing on PlayStation 5. Whether you're on Xbox or PlayStation, it really doesn't matter. These settings are going to be great for you, okay? So we're actually going to go ahead and get started. Now, I'm going to go over every single setting that I have right now. I'm going to put a section in the video if you want to just see the controller settings that I have, but we'll go ahead and get started with general here. Now, for global controls, I have invert all vertical look set to off, just because I don't want any of my controls inverted. I like the way it is, so everything here is set to off. Camera shake amount, I'm going to go ahead and recommend this down to 50, just because the less camera shake you have, the less motion blur, all that kind of stuff. It's just going to make the gameplay a lot smoother for you, okay? Crossplay, other, I mean, it's completely up to you guys. You can have it on, you can have it off. If you want to fight against PC players, it's really up to you. It's personal preference. For display, I think display is going to be an important section here. So field of view, this is something you can play around with. Now, I went up to 105. It was a little bit too much for me. I like 100. You can also go down to 90 if you don't want that fishbowl effect, but it's really not that bad compared to other games like Warzone. So I personally play at 100. For my vehicle third person field of view, I play at 70. Now, ADS field of view is important here. So when on, magnification of weapon sights will be relative to the user defined FOV. When off, will be relative to the default FOV. This is important because if your field of view is higher, you want your ADS field of view to match your current field of view. Otherwise, things are going to look a little bit awkward. Like I said, play around with these settings, but this is what I recommend in the field of view section. For graphics, I have my brightness up just a little bit, up to 60, because there was some areas in the game that were a little bit dark. Motion blur, I'm going to recommend turning completely off. I don't like motion blur in any games. It's going to make your game look a lot smoother, more visibility, and stuff like that. Chromatic aberration, film grain, V-net, I think that's how you say it, and lens distortion, I have all of these settings off. Again, like I said, guys, I'm sure this will make the gameplay a little bit more immersive, but if you want the best visibility possible, I highly recommend turning these off. Now, if we go over to the right, we're still in the display section. This is the HUD general area. Show HUD on, HUD motion on, camera shake amount again all the way down 50, soldier compass always on, show vehicle seat on. Colorblind mode, I have this off. This is personal preference. You know, if anyone's colorblind out there, I currently have it off. World log, I have the kill log on just because I like to see it, and then show kills made by squad. For the crosshair opacity, I have it set to 100 because obviously I want to see my crosshair. Crosshair projection on. Crosshair thickness, default, you can put it a little bit thicker if you would like, or thinner. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think the default's great. Crosshair color, a lot of people like to change this. I play at white. Some good colors you might want to use is maybe like a bright green or a bright red. Again, play around with it, see what works best for you. Hit indicator opacity, I have it set to 100. Hit color, white. So I'm actually going to change these right now. So when I land a headshot, I want it to be bright yellow, so that way I know that I'm landing those headshots, right? So I think yellow is going to be a good color for you guys. For kill, I want to set this to like a brighter red. I think that'll be more beneficial. And then the armor hit indicator color, I'm cool with the purple blue. That's fine. Minimap, I have the minimap background opacity set to 90. I believe this was default. Rotate with view on. Minimap view distance on foot 50. Minimap view distance ground vehicles 120, and minimap view distance air vehicles 200. For sound audio controls, we have the volume, music volume, sound effect volume, and in-game announcer volume set to 100. You can play around with this, see what's best for you. I haven't had any issues with the in-game announcer, so I'm going to keep it at 100 for now. Configuration, auto, audio mix, speakers. If you're using headphones, set this to headphones. Hit indicator, Battlefield 2042. In-world radio music, I'm going to recommend setting this off. For subtitles, you can have them on or off. I'm personally going to turn them off. Now, for the controller settings, this is what everybody came here for, okay? For the soldier controls, I have my controls set to default. I have paddles on the back of my controllers, so It's a little bit easier for me to decide, you know, what type of controller scheme is important for me. So I can basically make my own controller scheme. Play around with this, maybe check and see what other options they have here. Southpaw, Legacy, see what works best for you. Soldier buttons I have set to default. Everything here is pretty much set to default, guys. I didn't really change any of the controller schemes. Like I said, I have the paddles on my controller, and honestly, overall, I think the default controls are great in this game. For global, invert vertical look for Soldier off, and controller vibration off. I think your accuracy is going to be a lot better if your controller vibration is off. Trust me, this goes for most first-person shooters. On foot, this part is important. So soldier aim sensitivity, I am currently playing at 50. I put this down to 40, 35. I turned it up to 60, 65, 70, and I found that 50 was the sweet spot. I think you have enough sensitivity to get around and snap at your targets and take them out pretty fast, but it's not too slow either, which is nice. I think 50 is a great spot to be at. So what I recommend is start at 50. If it's too slow, turn it up a bit. If it's too fast, turn it down a little bit. Invert vertical look for Soldier, I have that set to off. Field of view 100. ADS field of view again on. Soldier aim assist 100. Soldier aim assist zoom snap 100. Soldier sprint. Okay, so movement is going to be important here. All right. Soldier sprint, I'm going to recommend putting this on to toggle. And then when you guys go down here, double tap forward to sprint, it's going to be auto sprint. So by default to sprint, you have to click the sprint button, and then you have to click it once again to activate that tactical sprint, right? That quicker sprinting time. If you set this to toggle and auto sprint, it's a lot easier because as soon as you sprint, it's automatically going to activate the fastest sprinting possible. Sprint button L3 on PlayStation. Sprint to vault cover, I have this set to off. I don't want this to automatically vault. I feel like it's going to mess me up more than it's going to help me. And always use traversal sprint. Turn on to always use traversal sprint when activating sprint. So turning this on is going to give you, like I said, that extra burst of speed when you're sprinting using auto sprint toggle. For zoom, soldier weapon zoom, I have that set to hold. Zoom button L2, steady scope hold. Steady scope hold button L3. Soldier zoom aim sensitivity, I have this set to 100. Parachute auto deploy, I have this set to off. Air spawn parachute auto deploy, I have this set to on. Quick throw grenades off. Revive interaction, I have this set to toggle. So instead of me having to hold square to revive my teammates, I just have to press square, which is a lot easier. Request / skip revive, I have it set to hold. Reload hints on. Aiming left right acceleration, I highly recommend turning this down to 0. I feel like it's going to improve your aim overall. That acceleration is a bit awkward. I don't like it personally, so setting this to 0 is going to help you out. Vertical aim ratio 50. Uniform soldier aiming, I have this set to on, coefficient 150. And then all of these extra zoom sensitivities below, I did not change these. I actually turned them up a little bit and I did not like it. I think 100 is a great spot to be at. For vehicles here, vehicle aim sensitivity, I have it at 30. Invert vertical look for tracked vehicles set to off. Vertical third person field of view 70. Tank aim sensitivity 100. Gunner aim sensitivity 100. Transport vehicle free look sensitivity 100. Vehicle weapon zoom, I have this set to hold. And then gunner vehicle and aircraft zoom button L2. Pilot invert vertical look for aircraft, I have that set to off. Aircraft control sensitivity 70. Helicopter control assist set to on. Advanced aiming left and right acceleration, I'm going to recommend turning this off as well, even for the vehicles. Vertical aim ratio, just turn this up to 50. Vehicle zoom aim ratio 80. Uniform vehicle aiming off, and then vehicle aim relative controls set to on. Controller tuning, controller vibration, like I said, turn this off. Center dead zone 13. Axial dead zone 15. Max input threshold 100. Center dead zone 13. Axial dead zone 15. Again, 100 for the input threshold. And then down here, the controller L2 and R2 buttons, L2 dead zone 0, 100, 0, 100. All right. Accessibility, menu narration, we have that set to off. Convert incoming voice to text chat set to off. Colorblind off. Again, these are some settings that we already saw. Motion blur 0. Camera shake amount 50. So we already saw some of these things. Crosshair projection on, controller vibration off, subtitles off, controls. Again, these are some of the same things. Soldier sprint toggle, auto sprint, soldier weapon zoom set to hold, steady scope hold, vehicle weapon zoom hold, revive interaction toggle, and request/skip revive set to hold. Controller mapping, this is up to you guys if you want to map any specific controls on here for toggling chat, social menu, taking screenshots, stuff like that. And then the last thing here, extras, is nothing really to see here. So I think the most important thing in this video is going to be the controller section, the schemes, global, on foot, vehicles, and controller tuning. This is going to determine how you play the game, what your experience is going to be like. So hopefully this video helps out. Like I said, I played this last night, all night. I played around with the settings, and I think this is the best possible way to play this game. All right. If you guys have any other recommendations, let us know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it a lot. More Battlefield videos coming soon. Thank you guys. I'm out. Peace.